He did this? What the hell? Jeez.
CJ, I know you would much rather broke the record and win, but what does it just kind of mean to you to have more 3 points than anybody else?
Honestly, I haven't really thought about it. It's just been a tough season, for us collectively as a team. But I think I'll reflect more on that at the end of the season and later on in my career. But whenever you're able to be in those types of positions, it's an honor and a privilege. And just a credit to our team, a credit to hard work, and the ability to shoot the ball a little bit.
And obviously, you came into the league as a guy known for scoring points, shooting the ball, but not necessarily a high-volume three-point shooter. Does that kind of speak to the development throughout the course of your career, becoming a guy that can do that?
Yeah, I mean, for 8 years or 9 years, I was, one of the best mid-range shooters in the NBA. High volume, high percentage on pull-up jumpers, pull-up twos specifically off the bounce, and just the way our offense was ran in Portland for a long time. It's the shot that I just kind of mastered and the shot that I, was comfortable with. And as the game kind of evolved, I had to continue to get more comfortable shooting threes off the bounce, catch and shoot, and just understanding analytics, understanding how it's going to be utilized, understanding the situation, especially coming here, playing with Z, playing with BI, now playing with DeJounte and different guys. You had to be able to space the floor, be able to play the different strengths of the team, and I think I've just evolved and gotten comfortable shooting threes. Obviously, I'd like to make more threes than what I'm doing right now, but I think it's just a credit to ability to evolve and adapt.
And last two games, y'all had a really tough time on offense. What do you think kind of changed tonight that allowed y'all to just kind of catch that rhythm throughout the game?
We had a day off. That always helps. Getting a day off, being able to sleep in your own bed, all that type of stuff. And then I think for us, it's just consistently working on spacing, pace, being able to get rebounds and get out and run. I think all that stuff makes the game easier. A lot of teams are switching. So just getting used to, screening angles and being able to read the defense on the driving kicks.
And what do you see as the biggest issue on the other end of the court, of the score?
Offensive rebounds have been killing us, this entire season, and especially the last 2 weeks. And it was the same tonight. Offensive rebounds and then closeout rotations, right? We trap it, and, the three-point shooters were getting open and hurting us.
The second half, it seemed like Dallas was able to get very comfortable in the way that they attacked inside. How do you and DeJounte and Trey, Brandon, whomever is on the perimeter, how do y'all work on communication, maybe at cutting off those driving lanes and making it a little bit more difficult?
Yeah, I mean, Kyrie was one of the main culprits getting downhill. He's been doing that for, 13, 14 years, one of the greatest scorers of all time. So his ability to guard with five, ability to try to, make it difficult for him, with everybody out there, and then understanding that when you are trapping a guy like Kyrie, you're playing in rotations. So, they're able to, have some advantages on closeouts, and it's a team effort. We got to do a better job collectively guarding, all five and being able to help each other.
You talk about how difficult a season this has been. When you get to this point, when you're closing in on All-Star break and these types of things, and it looks like maybe playoffs are really hard to get to, though you're not eliminated from those things. Mm-hmm. Do you start shifting what your goals are as a player on a day-to-day basis and what you want to accomplish this season? You start thinking about not necessarily individual marks, but things like, I want to see this guy do this, I want to see this player do this, I want to see us as a team reach these things if the bigger goals that we had maybe at the start of the season aren't on the table anymore.
They're just competing. I think that's the biggest thing, competing. I worked really hard this summer to get better at a lot of different things, and you don't want to waste a season, obviously. Not making the playoffs or not being in a position to make the playoffs right now is not what we expected, but you can still get a lot out of the season, collectively from a development standpoint. Obviously you want to compete each night. You want to get some wins. You want to get better at things. You want to improve on some of your deficiencies and continue to be good at the things that you're good at. I think this is the same for everybody. There's little small growth moments that are going to happen throughout the year. Guys are going to continue to get better and continue to get more opportunities to play and continue to grow on the court and just be able to get more comfortable with the NBA. I think a lot of guys are young. A lot of guys are figuring themselves out and have been thrown into the fire like Eves and continue to get more comfortable in the NBA throughout the rest of the season.
CJ, since you arrived here in New Orleans, typically the defensive end has been the stronger side of the floor. So how frustrating has this season been, and what gives you hope that you guys can at some point turn it around on that end of the floor?
We've been a top 10 defense before with a lot of the same guys that we have. Obviously, no JV, no Herb. Those things are difficult. Z's been in and out of the lineup, but he's been playing the last couple of weeks. Just continuity, I think, helps make the game a little bit easier. And then for us, it's about figuring out our rotations and figuring out defensively what type of identity we're going to have on that end.
CJ, you don't think your size maybe is deficient on some nights where you're just giving up too many more points in the paint, offensive rebounds that you were just talking about?
I think it's a combination of things. There's some long rebounds we got to get to, boxing out. Obviously, many guys aren't going to jump as high as Gafford does, but you got to be able to box out. And it's all five. It's all five of us continuing to help on the boards. And I mean, there's no excuses. We've been playing small, and we played small before, but it's about just rebounding and hitting first and making sure your man doesn't get the ball.
And I just see you guys 5-6 games on his note. What really stood out to you about some of the things he's been doing?
Just downhill, getting pressure on the rim, continuing to draw crowds, pushing in transition, getting us in the bonus pretty quickly. So I think those are things that he's done really well and continuing to get more comfortable and continue to play more minutes each night.
Hey, CJ, going back to your record again, you passed Drew, and I've played Drew on Friday, but y'all's careers count the same as far as just kind of.
He's got how many championships?
I mean, just the work that y'all put in is kind of respected around the league. I mean, just what are kind of the thoughts about Drew?
Yeah, I like Drew a lot. I've been a fan of his game for a long time, except for when they put us out of the playoffs back in the day. But I just think he's a really good player, good human, comes from a good family, is raising his own, family and doing a good job of helping the community and continuing to do the right things on and off the court. Obviously, people respect his game, his defensive intensity, his versatility, and how selfless he's just been, consistently hits big shots when they need him to, does a lot of the dirty work and doesn't always get the credit he deserves. But I think he's had an outstanding career, and to be able to be in conversation with someone like that is really cool. But I don't play the game for those reasons. I play the game because I love it and because I want to, really maximize the talent God has given me. So I'm just thankful to be able to hoop and be able to take care of my family.
Thank you.
During the road trip, offense was a little bit of a struggle. What were y'all able to do tonight to kind of get back on track?
My bad, bro. I really was not trying to do that. I think the biggest thing was just hit shots. We just hit shots. I really can't boil it down to anything else. When we were in Toronto, we did not hit shots. When we were in Charlotte, just didn't hit shots. That's bottom line is make or miss league, and we made shots tonight. Still wasn't enough, but it was trending in a better direction.
And how important is it to see, like, all of y'all being able to eat tonight? You had I think 4 of y'all scored 20 in the start line of being able to get everybody involved, not just having one guy go off like it's been a few in the game.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, wanting to win first, though, that's the biggest priority. So, I mean, yeah, it's cool for all that, but we at the end of the day didn't win, so it is what it is.
And what did you see is the biggest issue on the defensive end tonight?
I think the biggest thing was just offensive rebounding for them. They had 16 or so offensive rebounds, and it led to a lot of second chance points for them. So, I mean, if we're able to clean that up, then we take away a lot of their points. I mean, we lost by 1 point. You could say 4 points, whatever. And, we gave up a lot of second chance points, so we just cut that in half. It was probably a 10-point game.
Tonight you were really efficient with your shot, but the one thing that was missing that had been a big part of your game was getting to the free throw line. It seems like you tried to get downhill a couple times, but just how big has free throws been in giving you rhythm offensively on a night-to-night basis, and why have you done such a better job in drawing contact?
It's a multitude of things. I think it's just whatever the game gives me. Like tonight, it wasn't as much of a downhill game. Like I still got downhill, but it was a lot of floaters and layups and stuff like that. There was one where I probably could have gotten a foul, and I looked at the referee. He was like, "Yeah, probably so." But it was like, it is what it is. The last couple of games, they just haven't really been calling much, and I'm okay with it. Like if we're gonna play that brand of basketball, I'm cool with it. But it's just it just depends. And also that's something I worked on this summer too, was drawing fouls because I am a good free throw shooter.
You went through the same kind of rehab process in getting your hamstring going, knowing that you had to get ramped up in minutes. Zion still playing only about 28 minutes a night. How frustrating is it for him, just watching him and knowing the kind of competitor he is, knowing that he could, if he had 2 or 3 more minutes, maybe tonight goes differently? Is that something that you just, as watching, going through that process?
Yeah, it's tough, but at the end of the day, it's a long game too. Sometimes you got to save players from themselves because, they don't know once you're that man in that arena, you just lose yourself into the game and you don't know when to save yourself. You might feel little nagging things or two, but it's I got to win. I got to figure out a way to win this game. And so you just got to save players from themselves at times. And so I think the biggest thing is just health for him, just continuing to keep him healthy and whatever that means for, playing time wise.
Hey, Trey, CJ broke the franchise 3-point record with that last 3. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I was told.
How crazy is it that in such a short amount of time he got that record? And my follow-up is, how long are you going to let him keep the record?
I think it's just testament to him, first of all. I'll say that is huge, statement for his game, obviously. He was here. He's been here for going on 4 years, and this better not be who I think it is. Okay. It's been a testament to his game. He gives up a lot of threes. He hits a lot of threes at a really high rate, and it's beautiful to see. How many does he have?
629.
How many do I have? Well, before you even look, won't be long. Won't be long. That's all I have to say. It won't be long. You only have to get the number in all honesty. I don't even need to see the number, but it'll be taken down. I just need like having a bar set for me. I think that's the biggest thing, just have a bar set for me.
534 before tonight.
Cool.
What have you kind of seen the 5 or 6 games on this belt, just Z and what he's been able to do in the minutes that he has played?
He's been great. I mean, he's been great. He's getting to the rim, and he's been the same player he's been. He's been dominant, able to find guys as well, set the table, and it just shows it's a different look for our team. And defense have to really key in on him because he's such a force at the rim.
Does it feel like he's kind of making a bigger impact on the defensive end, just doing a lot of the little things?
Damn, I wanted to beat you to it. That was the last thing I wanted to say too. I forgot to say that part too. I'm mad I didn't say it, and I knew you were about to say that too. I was gonna say he's been really playing a lot better defensively too. Like he's been really engaged. Like teams been trying to attack him, and they've had to go away from attacking him because he's been getting stops, getting steals, and deflections. Like this, that's the biggest area of improvement I've seen from him.
And Trey, how can you battle when there's such a disparity with the points in the paint? When some teams come in with their bigger or it's a mindset, how do you battle that? I know you guys talk about wanting to do the right thing, right? Whether you're boxing out, all that. How do you put that plan into action?
Just gotta do it. That's just the bottom line. I mean, we gotta figure it out. No matter who's out there on the floor, we gotta figure it out. Gotta get rebounds. Gotta keep people out of our paint, and defend at a high level. Just simple as that.
Trey, I wanted to ask you about post-game before you leave. The moment that you guys had with Rob 49. Just what's that relationship like with you and Rob and stuff like that?
It's actually crazy. My rookie year, there'd be times where he would be like, "Yo, I'm trying to come to the game," and I would give him tickets, and he'd be sitting right near my mom. And this was probably around the time the Vulture Island came out. He'd be in the stands just like any other fan. And now you see him courtside, and he got big songs. He's one of the hottest artists out, and it just shows a testament to his work. And it's crazy. He's a really good dude. That's the biggest thing. He's not like a lot of other people that are in his position. He's really down to earth and just been a good friend.
Thanks, Trey.
Yep. There's no way he did that.